Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dr. Zombie live stream. Sorry for the extendedly long intro, and I don't think I actually mentioned that I was streaming. Nope, didn't actually post the announcement in the Discord channel. So anyone who's waiting on that announcement to find out if I'm streaming, which I believe is everybody because no one was here when I started, is still waiting. But now I've sent the announcement out. Hello everyone, welcome back. Tonight we're doing space RPG game in space with extra space involved, and my friends are already here waiting for me to unmute myself, and let's go. Hello, I'm back. It took extra long because I had to take all the garbage out and then to put the dog away, and then I had to make the cocktail, and I only have time for gin and Sprite, so that's what I'm having. So, but I'm here. Ready for this. Not at all.
Gin?
Completely winging it. I believe so. It wasn't like top shelf gin, but it certainly wasn't like Seagram's. Do you want me to go get the fucking bottle?
I can't see your picture anyway.
I would tell you what it was. I just don't know off the top of my head.
Besides, what's wrong with Seagram's? Seagram's and 7 and 7 is...
It's totally fine with me, and probably, honestly, my taste buds / liver wouldn't know a difference. But this is like top, literally above me shelf. No, it's a little more expensive than Seagram's.
Fair enough. I mean, back in the day, that was my cocktail of choice.
The 7 and 7, delightful, delicious Sprite and gin. Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Mr. Boston would disagree with you, but
I had to get gin to put on my roll for cocktail list, so also bought 3 other alcoholic mixes to put on there as well. Brandy and SoCo. Anyway, back to space and all the horrible things that happened there. Hello, everyone. Last time we played this game, I don't have my notes open, my bad. We set off in search of new horizons using the newly... somebody is echoing, by the way. Whoever doesn't have headphones on, it might be a little loud and the microphone's picking it up. The newly created hybrid hyperspace drive using Feldar and human technology that has been installed on the Nero. And then you whisked yourself away to a star called Lalande 21185. At Lalande 21185, you were tasked with finding a unobtainium, a MacGuffinite, called Ellerite 162. It is the fuel source that the Feldar use to power all of their electronics and systems, and you don't currently have any at Wolf. You do have some at Venus, back at Sol system. However, it was deemed too risky to warp to Sol for fear that the Wrath might wind up destroying all of humanity in one quick gobble. When you arrived at Lalande, you were greeted by a strange Wrath ship that looked a bit like a squid. Your little crewmate that you picked up, I believe Mark Jones, was able to pretty much destroy it in a couple of turns, but it dropped one of the Wrath spider soldiers onto the deck of the Nero, where it was also quickly dealt with. And then you discovered an abandoned Feldar refining space station above the third planet of near the sun that appears to be mostly intact. It does have some damage to it. Any questions before I fill in some additional information for you?
So far, so good. Matches most of my notes.
Okay. The Feldar space station is cold, empty, and has been damaged by long exposure to the vacuum of space. It does not appear that the Wrath need to breathe, but they do appear to be slowed somewhat by the cold. You've observed by using your remote mining drone that they don't appear to be very busy. They appear to be either sleeping or hiding or just wandering aimlessly at a slowed pace. perhaps because there's nothing to eat or nothing to do, or maybe they're just disconnected from the hive mind or what. They don't seem to be violently scouring the for your ship right now. The station contains a destroyed airlock, a ruptured hull that will definitely take months to repair, actually rebuild from scratch. There are numerous hangars and cargo bays, a refueling facility that's been completely destroyed, 2 Feldar spacecraft, and then Grebe and Samael are able to pull up a blueprint, essentially, of the space station and show you what areas look like they are still okay. They're pointing out things on a computer console in the lounge. The Arboretum, flight control, cafeteria, crew quarters, and the cargo and hangars all seem to be in great shape. I'll
need that list in a minute, but okay.
Sorry?
I'll need that list.
No problem. Grebe and Samael are hopeful that after they restore power to portions of the station through one of the subsystems, the main power was destroyed, blew up, exploded, but some of the subsystems could be reworked. They might be able to reinitialize those modules and have them work. That could take a few weeks of work. And of course, they'll need to clear out the remaining 4 Wrath before they venture on board to do that sort of work.
I thought we only had one alien.
Am I incorrect? You know what? I believe you're right. I believe you only have Grebe.
Yeah, I thought yep. Grebe. We have ourselves, Grebe, and Mr. Jones.
You are correct. Let me remove Samael from my notes because you, in fact, only have Grebe.
We are Grebe. We are Semulus.
Semulus. Okay. As I recall, Arthur Robertson was trying to repair the sensor array, which had been damaged in the most recent attack. He said it's going to take a few hours, and he has to be outside the ship with mag boots on a spacewalk. This is especially dangerous if the Wrath catch wind that there is a life form nearby that they could potentially scale to. You had to not dock, since both your and the station's docking bays are destroyed, but sort of hover near the massive opening on the side and rappel across from your cargo bay to the opening. But you basically threw one of those remote drones over there, it wandered around, took some pictures, and reported back. And now it's just sitting over there deactivated because it can't be thrown back.
I have. When you're done, I have questions.
Please go ahead.
If we're prepared for it, I think honestly, because it'll take a while, it's probably better to deal with the Wrath we know about before we worry about repairing the antenna. Because otherwise they're going to show up in the middle of it and make life messy anyway, so we might as well deal with them on our terms. 2, anyone bet that how they're going to react to a drone? It's an inorganic thing. Are they going to ignore it?
We already went by one with the drone.
So far, it appears that they've ignored the drone, although it hadn't gone very close. It was doing like distance scanning. Probably something like 50 feet away is as close as it got. So they appear to ignore the drone.
I'm fairly sure a Wrath can pull a drone apart, probably. But I'm not sure. Are these equipped with anything? I shouldn't say armed. They're not. Or are they equipped with anything that could be considered a weapon?
No, they, other than like the mining drones have like a little sawing mechanism, a blade to basically free them from any like debris that they might get entangled in, stuff like that. It's not typically a weapon. You remember being attacked by some that had gone crazy on your very first mission years ago.
Yes, sir. It's a wonderfully unlucky thing.
Yes. That is the only real weapon they have. They have like a mining laser, but it's like completely useless at attacking anything that isn't completely stopped moving.
believe we had a plan for dealing with the Wrath, but I can't remember what it was. Something about wrapping up a whole bunch of like frozen steaks and sending them over wrapped around explosives or something.
Yep.
We had the good and bad ideas list contained things like drop meat to attract the Wrath into an ambush, attempt to electrify the entire station to see if we could shock, stun, or kill them, which we don't have that big of a capacity.
Actually, my idea on that one was for electrifying our ship in case the Wrath attached to us, so that they would let go of us.
I have a.
In both cases, you don't believe that you could do so without potentially damaging components on either the station or your ship.
Right.
You know what? If we strung high voltage wire with ceramic spacers, sort of made like a web around our ship, that might work.
It's weird that we will now not be powering something else.
Yeah, you would have to have a lot of extra spare parts that you don't actually have for that.
Oh, I just
We could probably get them from the station.
Several thousand feet of high-density cable might be needed. Yeah, and the Feldar are like, yeah, we could probably string up that much cable from the space station, but we'd have to go in there to get it, and that defeats the whole purpose.
Yes.
So Grebe is like, this is a bad idea. I don't like it. Dramatic frown face to make sure you understand his meaning.
No. We don't have much in the way. Does Mr. Jones have any say a word, authorized or unauthorized explosives?
He has one fragmentation / sonic grenade.
Okay.
It does both.
That's spiffy.
Yeah. The frag comes out first and then a sonic blast afterwards to make sure that anything it hit was definitely embedded. He's pretty sure that it wouldn't be too effective against the Feldar's materials. They are quite impervious to most human tools.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering because we have drones they're ignoring. If he had, snuck 3 landmines onto the ship against all good ideas, we could sneak up with critters and.
So Mark, knowing you a little bit, looks at you, Devad, dead in the eyes, and said, "I would never break protocol in such a blatant and misuse of company materials fashion, sir."
Excellent.
So where is it?
No. I have to step out to the laboratory. Talk amongst yourselves.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Okay. 20 seconds after you walk away and you're definitely out of earshot, Mark looks at the other ones and goes, "What the hell's wrong with that guy?" "No, I didn't smuggle landmines. Where was I going to put them? Up my ass? Huh? No, I brought my gun, my bullets, as was allocated, and I was also allocated 1 grenade. They kept all the landmines for, any potential wrath that came to the station after we left."
How is your ammo holding up right now? I mean, after the one Wrath landed.
Essentially, my tripod machine gun operates the same way that your plasma cannon does. It is loaded with lead or steel junk, and it processes it into bullet form and shoots it with magnetic propellant.
Okay.
So as long as you have anything from silverware to just scrap metal, I can keep shooting, and we have plenty of that.
Okay.
I could probably shoot about 10,000 bullets before I started grabbing bits of Mr. Coffee.
Fair enough.
Not the Mr. Coffee, which is currently cold. All the heating elements are inoperable.
That is true.
Yeah, that wasn't one of the broken things, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was. It's on the list of things that currently does not want to work.
Yes,
Alright.
I have that full list if you need it ever.
Now, were we able to actually detect the Wrath with our ship sensors, or was it only from what the drone picked up?
It was your ship sensors are completely not working. Half the dish has been torn off. The wires are disconnected. It's a real shit show. And that's going to take an hour or two for Arthur to fix, and like I said, he's kind of worried that the Wrath might show up and try to eat him.
All right. So
I'll be out there working on it. I'll have was it John? John out there with me with the gun.
Mark Jones?
Yes.
I mean, I could, but the ship's turret is not going to get like 100% of the view. I mean, so first off, if we really need to fix this, we could fly away from the station. That would probably be the safest way. And this Mark is saying this, like obviously, get away from the place where the bad guys are, and then we can fix it in peace. Otherwise, you'd have to rotate the ship so that the gun is facing the opening, just to be sure. And then I could at least shoot at them when they come out. But, you know, they're small, and if they're fast, I might not get them all before they get on board.
That's why I prefer the idea of laying a trap, which is why I was hoping we had more explosives.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I am a chemist. I could try. I just don't think we've got the raw components for me to cook up some plastic explosives.
You would have to make a roll for it, and it would be a difficult check to hit.
Are there any of those sort of supplies on the station? Any organic compounds we could borrow from the station? A quick put in with the drone and bring it back?
Grebe looks pretty upset when you ask this, and implies that most organic stuff would have been taken.
Right.
Scooped up, eaten, slurped. My friends.
Your ex-friend.
He cannot frown harder.
Ron, stop talking.
Ron, you're not there.
You're like friend of the show.
Do you want to try to scrounge up something to make a bomb? Or
Full-on ball is probably a bit bad. I mean, if the Wrath are effectively semi-catatonic, I mean, the basic goal is I'd use a drone, poke one, see if they all respond. If they all respond, we just eject off the station and back off.
okay.
I'm more worried about what if there's some other big Wrath out there in the system.
Right. We need to know how. We don't know how these things communicate, so that's a problem.
So
Here's something to note. The Wrath we fought detached from the station and came to us when we entered system. The mini Wrath that are inside the station didn't respond at all.
Correct.
Which tells me they weren't intercommunicating.
Because the goal basically is if we can pull them in, if there are 4 of them or so, and we can pull them into us one at a time, we can probably chew them up and spit them out.
well, you guys take care of that. I want to work on the sensors.
Okay. Do you want to fly away from the station and work on the sensors?
Nah, I'll just go out here right now.
Okay.
It sounds like the rest are going to create enough noise to distract them and make tempting targets.
Okay.
Without having to worry.
Mark says, do you want to rotate the ship so that I'm pointing the Gatling turret?
I will do that at the very least.
Okay, because that will definitely do more damage than my handheld. So he gives you a little salute and heads to the turret. Peter, it is no difficulty at all to gently turn the ship about 90 degrees so that the turret is roughly facing the hole. You hear a crackle over your radio. That looks good. And then, Arthur, you managed to finish putting on your engineering spacesuit with like the extra claw arm that hangs off to the side so you can grab stuff that is bigger than your hand. And you activate the mag boots. Clunk, clunk. You have to exit the ship through the cargo bay that is depressurized, and you kind of have to jerry-rig a airlock out of it. So you go in the cargo bay, you lock all the doors, you seal it up, you press the, decompress button.
I have all the stuff I need in the cargo bay before I do this.
Yes, of course. Glossing over the minutia. You put everything that you could possibly need to repair this thing in the bay, and then this massive cargo bay door designed to, attach to the side of a station and, have forklifts and, teamsters on and off, opens up, and you are standing there staring out into the vast blackness of space, attached only by your magnetic boots. It is...
Might I suggest a tether?
Yeah.
That's good.
You tether yourself to the ship. You begin your long, slow spacewalk to the front of the Nero, where the sat dish is currently hanging off. Anyone else doing anything during this time?
What can be repaired from within the ship?
Sorry,
Go
Tom,
ahead, Ron.
Tom, go.
What can be repaired from within the ship?
Okay. If you have any engineering skill, or even can roll just a minor one, there are 5 systems currently failed. In order of importance, the cargo bay door 6 are inoperative. Oh, actually, number 1, your uranium slag cannon cannot fire. Actually, did you fix that?
Yes, we fixed the main gun.
You did fix the main gun. Never mind.
Yeah.
That one is working.
We fixed the power overload and the port thruster in the initial.
Mm-hmm.
We followed it up with the
The
sensors,
fans, the
clock
sensors. Yep.
oxygen, and the
Okay.
main gun.
Okay. Your docking clamps on your main docking port, they don't work. Probably not important unless you want to dock on the station, which also their docking clamps are broken. Your cargo bay door number 6 is inoperative. If you want to connect to one of the cargo bays on the station,
Is it an operative open or an operative closed?
locked. Last known state was locked closed. It's remaining locked closed. You cannot change that. It goes.
Mr. Coffee is down.
The Mr. Coffee is down, and the Cryo Sleep cubes are currently off.
We're not leaving here the long way.
Right. As long as you don't intend to use Cryo Sleep, you won't need those ever. But they
Then
did.
while Arthur is on the outside of the ship, I'll start working on the docking clamp.
Okay.
So that means the doctor to go. Do you want to go? Do you want to go with the drone and see how they respond to drones?
I'd rather not provoke them while we have someone on the outside of the ship.
Okay.
All right.
Smart.
Common sense, in fact.
I'm going to go to the laboratory and see what I've got for materials to see if I can cook up some extra unstable organics.
Okay.
I'm going to actually ask you a couple of stupid questions, and I'm going to go do the only thing I can do at this point, which is work on Mr. Coffee.
Okay. Okay. Sounds great. Ask your stupid questions.
The important question for the Mad Doctor is: these things Wrath attack with big claws. We are going to be in a depressurized station or elsewhere. This is bad. Basically, not only do you have anything big enough we can slap over not just like bullet holes in wounds, but like large slashes in suits?
Base duct tape. Here, let me.
Yeah. It's.
I am not sure if any of my medical gear would actually be able to seal a suit. I'm
No.
sure I've got something for that.
I'll probably rummage through and see if we got any hull patches I can just slap on people to keep them dying.
The duct tape company was purchased in 2100 by the Band Aid organization. It is now Duck Band. Both the strongest known to man material for attaching your ductwork, as well as wounds, open flesh wounds.
And you thought they hurt to pull off your skin before.
Incredibly, but it's something they're working on in R&D. Very painful to remove.
It still has Hello Kitty patterns on the back.
So, actually, for that matter, if we're looking for large gash sealant, not necessarily sealing the wound, but sealing the gash itself, all we really need is flexible plastic with a glue surface.
So you're asking if you can rig up some like emergency patching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For suits, yeah, because
Okay.
Not so much that I'm bleeding to death; it's the fact that I have a foot-long hole in the spacesuit. That's
Sure. Yeah. No, that's not going to be an issue. All you need again is bits of pliable plastic and/or duct tape with,
An industrial glue.
industrial glue. Both of these are easy to find. Some of them are currently in the possession of your engineer, but he left enough behind that you could definitely create some like.
it's something I need when we go to play with the Wrath.
Yeah, it's a 1 round to activate emergency oxygen sealant that your suit you slap on. You also know from experience that these suits, while they are lowest bidder, low tech, etc., there have been many improvements in space suits since the 2000s. They have compartmentalized, automatically bubbling sections. So if, for example, you puncture the leg, it will seal off near your thigh, preventing oxygen from escaping. Now, you'll still have, you may still be bleeding out into space, and your leg may become cold and, whatever. But
a hole in the back of my leg's not going to kill me.
right, you're not going to run out of oxygen because something punctured you in the leg or the arm or something. If it goes through your helmet, maybe different story.
Yeah, the rest of it will be nice and oxygenated.
Yep. Okay, we will handle this in order of everyone except Arthur first.
I will go first and roll my dice. It's electronics to fix Mr. Coffee.
Yes, you need to fix the heating element on the Mr. Coffee.
Okay.
Oh, David.
Error, Mr. Coffee, cease function. You spray yourself with cold coffee. and get nowhere after about 30 minutes of fucking with the heating element. You're not even sure it's supposed to do that. Like, how did the coffee come out at all? There's no beans in this thing. And yet, there it is.
Caffeinated machine urine.
Next, we're going to go with Peter Langdon, who's attempting to repair the docking bay.
I'll take my average 2.
Okay. You realize that the locked closed state and the non-functionality state is due to the power surge that went through the ship. It's fried some wires, so there's a manual portion that actually has to be pulled out and repaired. You start this process, but you don't get very far initially. It's going to take you quite a lot of time to repair all the wirings, and you make some mistakes. It's basic grunt work at this point. It's not your expertise. Also, you have this weird feeling that it might be, one of the unlucky numbers on the time or something. It's not your fault. It's the machine.
Of course.
The creating the slaps is actually such a low DC that I don't think I'll have you roll for it. But why don't you go ahead and roll... what would be
Chemistry?
a good one? Yeah, roll a chemistry check while you're in there looking around for your glue substitute.
Three. My average.
Okay, 3 is good enough. You do find a chemical in the storage unit of the Nero that is used for fertilization applications, and realize that you could probably repurpose some of this to make a low-grade explosive if you need to. So the option exists that you could make one bomb. How you decide to detonate it, whether it be, light and throw, or, remote detonate, or sensor detonate, that will require a different roll, but you have the option of doing it later.
Okay.
Just make a mental
what I
note
want-
while you're getting stuff.
I'll keep that in the back of my head. I'll want to work with our grunt.
Mhm.
Because he's probably the one with the demolition skill.
Yep.
And, make sure I'm not doing anything that's too crazy.
Okay. You call, you
Well,
radio...
no, once we're safe.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're like, I'll talk to Mark about this later. He's currently sitting in the gunner's chair looking for movement. Okay. That is the four of you. Nobody specifically said, like, I'm going to keep watch. Which is fine. Just Mark. Mark is doing that. So it's on him whether or not he sees any movement. Okay, Arthur. You arrive at the dish, and it is bad. You have this, like, mix emotion of, God damn it, this shit is always broken, and also, ooh, fun puzzle that I can fix. Like, it's somewhere in between. Like, this is work. This is, like, real electronics and mechanical work. So why don't you go ahead and make your roll? Woof. 6 in engineering. Yeah, okay. You pull the thing down, you slap some band duct on it, you start, welding the joints together, you reattach the wires. You're making good progress, and you think this is probably going to take me about an hour, maybe 2. About 30 minutes goes by, and let's see here. I need to pull up my document. Of course. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Those are not great numbers. Okay.
Depends on for who.
I need you, Arthur, to make a roll for me.
What kind of roll?
I am trying to figure out the name of it. Give me just a half a second while I look it up. It is...
Perception?
Perception, yeah.
Okay.
You have 6 dice in that.
Yep.
Okay, that is a 3. Out of the corner of your eye, as you are welding shit together, you notice movement at the entrance, the big gaping hole on the side of the Feldar station. And it is not your little spider drone. In fact, one of the Wrath is now like tiptoeing along the edge back and forth as if it's looking for something. And you notice right as it like haunches back and then jumps toward the Nero.
They say, Wrath inbound!
Okay.
From the hole!
You yell, Wrath from the hole! Yar!
and run around and try and clomp away from the direction he's flying in.
Okay, Mark goes, what? Where? I don't see anything. Oh shit! This giant, like, 6 foot by 6 foot spider is now, all 8 of its legs are doggy paddling in space, essentially. And it looks both terrifying and ridiculous as it slowly moves toward the Nero. It's not coming directly at you, but it's sort of heading toward the ship, probably closer to where you exited from the docking bay. Mark notices it because you helped him, because he was not paying attention, and then opens fire with the Gatling cannon to see if he can shoot it.
Come on, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark, go!
Those look like decent numbers.
Come on. Steady your aim. Where's my manual?
You probably don't have time to blither at him.
No, I don't have any time to blither at him. I'm
Oh, wow. Defense hitting the same number as offense means no damage, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. A lot of the bullets miss the Wrath as it scampers through space. Some of them do hit, but bounce off of its chitinous armor more effectively than it did the big fleshy squid. And this thing continues to pedal through space. He gets one more shot before it lands.
May I do something?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to run to the cockpit, and if Grebe is in our communications, Grebe, can these things navigate in space?
Okay.
Can maneuver in space?
Grebe yells in a panicked voice, I don't know. I've never seen this before. They've never jumped through space. They're always on a ship. and we're always screaming and running. Ah!
So yes, if I get to the cockpit in time, I'm just going to move the ship.
Okay. Unfortunately, you are on the lowest floor of the vessel, and the cockpit is on the top floor.
Fair enough.
Even if you get to the elevator, it's going to take time. But you can always move the ship away in case the other ones start showing up. But Mark takes another shot before you start. Oh, it's a terrible shot.
Always is a bad shot.
And this thing evades it easily. And Mark yells, "I can't get to it anymore. It's landed on the side of the hull." And you hear his radio, him huffing as he runs through the deck of the ship. Okay, Arthur.
Is there anything live? Is the electricity live here at the antenna? I mean, is there a disconnect I can turn on and like do the old, you know?
Absolutely. You did like cap off all of the cords so that you didn't accidentally electrocute yourself while you're out here. You know, safety first. But it would be very easy for you to just grab a super heated electrical cable and just like hold it out in front of you.
At the end of a stick or metal bar or something.
A piece of rebar. The claw on your suit.
Yeah, okay. We'll go for it. What's a claw?
Okay. Peter, you are currently running to the cockpit. You'll get there next turn. Stan, Matthias, what are you doing?
Putting on my spacesuit.
Okay. You are already in storage, so the spacesuits are right there, so you start putting one on as fast as you can.
And then I guess once I have the suit on, I'll get my gun and head in the general direction of where people are saying it landed.
Okay. Yeah. So if I refer to the image of the deck plans in the game Bible, and I'll put it here so people can see, the storage that you're working on is on Operations Deck 1, and the exit you need to be is Cargo Bay 3 on Deck 4.
I still got to get the suit on, so.
Fortunately, yeah. I would say, fortunately, the elevator is currently on Deck 1 because Peter Langdon gets off of it and starts running to the bridge. So you won't have to wait for the elevator to come down. Okay. Divad, anything that you are doing during round 1?
Remember, don't panic. I'm more afraid of you than you are of them.
Not true. False. Grebe panics. He is yelling, "I'm experiencing fear!"
I have. Let's see. Where is Mr. Coffee on our deck plan?
Mr. Coffee's going to be in the lounge. This is the.
So I'm actually up by the bridge.
Yeah, you are on Deck 2, Rec Lounge.
And I can't get to the cockpit in time either because the thing's already on it.
You actually would be faster than Peter getting there because you only have to run through 3 doors, and then take the ladder up. By the time the elevator gets to the top deck, you would be in the computer room, which is right next to the bridge. Do you have any piloting skill whatsoever?
None.
Okay. So you look down at the piloting controls, complete gibberish, no idea. The manual doesn't help. And then Peter will burst in the door, like, at the very beginning of the round. Go, "Get out of my way! Bureaucrat! Fuck off! Don't touch anything! Did you touch my trolls? Did you touch any of my trolls? God help you if you touched any of the trolls." Okay. Let's...
Yes, I have a big no written there.
I didn't do it, I swear. Let's roll initiative.
Fine, and I'm going to probably... I don't have a spacesuit, and I'm probably headed for the air, wherever the alien is. It's going to suck.
Actually, I thought the alien was heading for the cargo bag.
Yes, the alien is heading for Cargo Bay 3.
Oh, good. Then I'll be all right. Yay!
Okay.
One moment while I find my initiative. Cargo map. I don't get the ship's map again. I need to get the right piece. No, not.
Jesus. Okay.
Hey.
Let's see here. Jim had a 4.
I have a 5.
Okay, so Devad. Then
I'm a 4 as
the
well.
4s are Matthias or Arthur.
I have only got a 3. I rolled badly.
Yep. And then it is Peter Langdon at 3. Then it is Mark Jones at 3. And then lastly, at a 1, the Wrath goes last. Grebe will not be acting. He is simply panicking and has no discernible skills for this type of situation.
We need to teach Grebe self-defense.
Yeah. About the only thing he can do is fill in for basically anyone's role at a severe disadvantage. Where would Grebe have been during all this?
Probably in the pilot's chamber.
You know what? He may have been piloting. I'm going to give him a chance to actually fly away a bit and make it so the Wrath takes longer to land on the vessel. He'll do a 4d2 piloting. That's it. That's all he needed was a 2. Grebe, before any of you guys start running, Grebe is like, here's the radio, Arthur saying the Wrath is coming, and just pushes the ship forward. He dings part of the vessel as he runs away. Fortunately, it's nowhere near either of you. But the Wrath lands. It just lands farther away from where it was going. It lands near the tail of the ship, giving Arthur extra time to either prepare or run to the cargo bay, whichever he chooses.
Well, I'm up on the nose, and I'm pretty far away from the cargo bay. I'm going to sit here.
Okay, yeah, you're up on the nose. The Wrath landed way in the back, toward the deck 4 storage, actually, on like the back wing of the ship. So he has to crawl a lot farther to get into the cargo bay. Okay. Awesome. That means that at the top of the round is Devad.
So I burst in and like, tell me how to fly this unnecessary. Never mind.
I'm moving it. We're getting away. Danger.
All right, I am going to probably. I need to collect my firearm, useless as it will be, and head firearm, a helmet because I don't have time to put on a full spacesuit probably because I wasted time going to the cockpit, and then head to where I think the Wrath is going.
Grebe looks at you with fear in his eyes and goes, "Should I close the cargo bay?"
Yes.
No.
You're not there. Rob's the only one there. He hits the button. Beep. And Cargo Bay 3's doors, which take a long time to close, begin to close. Okay. Matthias is next.
Well, I finished putting on my suit, grabbed my pistol, and start heading down towards the cargo bay.
Okay. You are now clunking through the ship.
Yeah.
Pistol in hand, heading toward Cargo Bay 3. Arthur.
I figured. Go ahead. Never mind.
Did I? It's like, wait, what am I? What's that vibration I'm feeling? No, don't close the door!
Arthur over the radio goes, "Don't close the doors!"
Well, I am no longer in the cockpit.
Anything else you're doing this round, or just preparing in case you get attacked?
I'm prepared in case I get attacked. I'm also looking for some way to tie myself down in case they decide to do violent maneuvers.
Okay. So you are currently tethered to the inside of the cargo bay, which will sever when the doors completely close. But you can wrap that tether around part of the sensor array that you just welded down. This is a great plan. I love it. Okay, Peter Langdon.
So I get to the cockpit. I will shove Devad out of the way.
Devad's not there anymore.
He was poking his head through. I don't think he actually left. Oh, no, you did say you were going to go get your pistol. Okay, yep. Grebe is currently in your chair.
And then yes, and then I will get in the chair.
Okay. Grebe happily relinquishes the pilot's chair to you and goes, I closed the cargo doors so it cannot get inside and consume our flesh.
I will hit the button and actually get them open again.
Okay.
Because we have people who want to get out there. I'm assuming Mark is in the process of getting his suit on.
Yes.
So yes, we want to keep the door open so that others can get outside and the one outside can get in.
Grebe thinks for a moment and is nodding and then goes, no, depressurize entire ship.
You'll be safe here.
You have to close the cargo bay doors to depressurize them, otherwise you'll vent your corridors into space.
I thought that the only doors we had open were the outer doors.
Yes, the problem is when we go into the cargo bay, we'll vent all our atmosphere.
Oh Christ, we don't have an airlock. Oh
No,
no,
we
the cargo
don't have
bay
an
is the airlock.
Extremely unfortunate. Engineering did not fix airlock.
Correct.
Very well, very well.
Is the alien going to go for the cargo bay, or is the alien going to go for the broken front airlock since he landed out in our tip of our bow there?
With that knowledge, Peter, are you keeping the cargo bay doors open or are you shutting them?
I will shut them since it's the only way we can actually get people to the outside.
Okay, half a second after they start.
We have 6 cargo bays. Use one of the other ones.
This knowledge is acceptable. Head to cargo bay 4. I'm sorry, I'm panicking. he mock wipes sweat, but because he's in a spacesuit, because he can't handle your atmosphere, he just touches the helmet. Reek.
I'm keeping the door open.
I love survival.
Every time it starts to close, people panic, and if it starts to open, people panic.
I love survival space horror. It's hilarious.
Here's the big price, people.
This reminds me
I will
of.
leave the door open, tell Mark and Matthias to go to a different airlock.
This reminds me of how we turned Call of Cthulhu into a slapstick comedy.
It's a comedy. Jesus Christ, it's like Three Stooges in space.
Oh my god. Give me a second. I have to.
Yep.
I'm sweating my fucking eyebrows off here. Yeah, the cooling system is on. I'm just wondering if it got clogged. Okay, let me finish the round. Mark, the NPC, joins Matthias in quickly slapping on a suit. However, he got there a little bit later because he was on the turret and not actually in the fucking room. So he will not be able to get his suit on until next turn. The Wrath lands far on the back of the ship and starts click, 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 clicking as it approaches. Arthur, make a perception check as the ship is flying away from the space station. 3.
3.
Okay. You don't see anything else. Nothing to worry about. Everything
Nothing
is
to worry
fine.
about other than the one that's on the ship.
Other than the one that's on
Everything's
the ship.
fine.
Give me 30 seconds to address some situations in the house. I'll be right back.
Okay.
March of the Gladiators plays.
Okay, I'm back. I had to address the situation. My mother is constantly cold, no matter how fucking hot it is. So, in order to simultaneously appease her and also teach her a lesson, I put her heat at 80. And so my air conditioning on this side of the house wasn't able to keep up with that shit. So I had to go and turn the heat off because she was happy. It was nice and hot now. Oh, I'm so much happier. So, yeah, it's 81 in her side of the house, and I'm trying to put it at 66 on this side. So really, I'm just paying to heat and cool my own house at the same time. But I've turned her air conditioner on, so it'll get really cold soon. Okay. I see that Tom is taking a break, which is totally...
I'm coming.
Oh, don't worry. It's going to be Devod's turn anyway.
Aha.
Yeah. I am listening to on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off.
The ship keeps shuddering as the decision to close or open the cargo bay.
I'm banging my head on the wall, so...
Okay.
I will basically. I'm not going to have time to put on the spacesuit, I believe, correct?
You are or are not putting on a spacesuit?
I do not believe I have the time to put on a spacesuit.
Well, if you
Take
intend
your
to
time.
go outside, you will need one. If you just plan to stay inside just in case, you should be okay.
And I can't suicidally just put on a helmet and try.
No, you'll freeze to death.
You'll freeze. Well, it won't be immediate, because the. But yes, it won't be good. It will be bad. But the life support on the system, even without atmosphere, it'll take you some time before you freeze to death.
Oh, that's very comforting.
Yeah.
So fine. Spacesuit and firearms, as sad as it is. So I am getting dressed.
Okay, Ron, you run in to get your spacesuit on right about the same time that Mark will be running out. In this endless line of people putting on their spacesuits and running toward Cargo Bay 4.
No, which way are they going? I'm their leader.
Cargo Bay 4! It's on the radio! Just as luck would have it, Devad, you put on the spacesuit that the radio doesn't work. I'm so angry. Matthias,
Yes.
you are wearing your spacesuit. You have your sidearm. And you are, I assume, running toward Cargo Bay 4.
Correct.
Okay, you will arrive outside Cargo Bay 4 at the end of this round. Arthur,
Yes.
you waited patiently in case anything showed up to attack you. It did not. However, you do not know, because there are no working sensors and no one actually has eyes on the beast, if it is still approaching you or if it has taken a different route or what it is doing. As the ship continues to move away from the space station, make one more perception check, please.
Or
Ooh, that beats the 3. You happen to notice, as you take one last gander at the rapidly leaving space station, that there are 3 Wrath spiders crawling around that massive exit agitatedly.
oh great.
But
Hey,
they
guys.
they have
Oh, boy.
not attempted to jump through space at the moving vessel.
Blah
Yep.
blah 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 blah.
What? Damn, I think I got the bad one.
Devad hears nothing. Actually, you probably hear it over the radio on the ship before you put your helmet on.
Did I realize the helmet? Did I realize my suit's radio is dead, or can I swap helmets, or am I just going to be running around without being able to talk to anyone?
As soon as you put the helmet on at like the start of your next round, that's when you'll realize, shit, I can't hear anyone.
How could I give them proper instructions? Ah, son of a
Son of a bitch. Fuck, shit. Damn it. My
No, I'm the
ability.
leader.
Peter!
I'm good at
Yes.
one thing only.
You are currently in the pilot's chair.
All right. I'm going to turn the ship so that I can basically point the cockpit towards the space station.
Okay.
I want to get a good look on the little spiders that are currently on the outside.
Okay. In fact, now that you're pointing straight at it, and the fact that Arthur said something, yes, you are now about 150 meters away from the space station. So such a jump would most likely result in the Wrath floating out forever in space. But they are scampering around quickly, agitated, as if they're looking for something.
Okay. I will, basically I'll keep them under observation and keep the engines hot if I have to. I'm basically going to have to I'm going to have to try to dodge the ship.
Okay.
If they launch at us, I'm going to spend most of all of my time just like trying to dodge them.
Okay. You are holding an action in case they attempt to launch themselves over here.
Yep.
Okay. Mark slides down the... actually, he'll probably take the elevator. Runs to the elevator and hits the button, click, but realizes that Matthias is currently in it. And then he goes, come on, come on, as he waits impatiently for the elevator to come back. The three Wrath that you're watching right now, Peter Langdon, stop moving, turn around, and single file retreat back into the space station. As if they're following each other.
There's a mind alive in there. Interesting.
And then Devad goes. Devad, you plunk your helmet on. Start running toward the elevator and yell, which cargo bay? And you hear deafening silence.
Fuck.
But you arrive as Mark is there pressing the button. Matthias, you are currently outside the doors to Cargo Bay 4.
Okay, I checked. Is Cargo Bay 4 pressurized?
It is.
I depressurized Cargo Bay... No, I did Cargo Bay 4.
Okay, you walk in Cargo Bay 4.
And then I will send a radio message. Is anyone else coming to Cargo Bay 4 before I pop this lock?
Mark replies, yes, I'm coming, and I think Devad is too. He's tapping his helmet and looking at me with
got the bad suit.
Oh, you have a bad suit? Goddamn cheap bullshit, fuck shit, damn it.
Wow, you sound an awful lot like Phil.
Wait a minute. He's getting something. He's getting something from his pocket. Is that the company manual? I don't want to see the company manual. Arthur, you are still holding action in case you are attacked, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So far, nothing is approaching you. You hear all the radio chatter of your compadres moving toward the cargo bay. You're hoping that they're faster than the spider that's crawling along the outside of the ship. Or secretly, you're hoping that it's trying to get in the ship and not at you.
Arthur, you are our sensors.
So I will creep along the edge of the hull so I can just barely, so I can just see the little top of it so I can spot where it's at.
Okay. So you're on deck 3, fixing that sensor array. You only have to crawl about 15 meters, so that's definitely within your thing. And make a perception check.
Ooh, not so good.
Not so good. However, there's really only one thing you're looking for.
And it's not really trying to hide.
And it's not trying to hide. It has crawled all the way up to the opening of Cargo Bay 3, but it does not look like it's going in Cargo Bay 3. It looks like it's going around the opening and up toward deck 3. So you think it's coming for you.
So I report this and I step back and I prep myself with my shock probe of doom.
Okay.
Since I'm not there, I can't tell him to start running. We're just run clockwise in the ship. See if you can kite it by us.
Okay. Next is Peter Langdon.
I've got my held action. Now the sensors that he's fixing is that are we completely and totally blind, or do we like still have proximity sensors or something like that?
Make a, let's see here. I guess pilot would probably be the best option, or computers if you have that.
I don't actually have computers. I'll take my piloting. I'll take my 3.
Roll your piloting. Okay, a 3. Average of 3. You press a bunch of buttons. While the main scanners are still offline, they haven't been reconnected, you have local cams. So you're able to cycle through cameras on and outside the ship. And you get one from essentially the sensor tower looking down in the same basic general direction that Arthur's eyes are. And you can see him kind of gripping the edge of the station and looking down with a electric cable in his hands. And about maybe 60 meters in front of him, you can see a spider coming toward him.
Okay. In the event that Arthur does not see it, I will direct him in a, go to the left, go to the right, basically, to avoid the spider, or to avoid the wrath.
Okay. Arthur definitely appears to be noticing it at the moment. Mark, finally the elevator arrives with a clunk. It doesn't ding nicely because this isn't a fucking hotel, it's a spaceship. So Arthur grabs Devad, pulls him into the elevator, and hits deck 4. And the elevator goes...
Devon is going to take off his helmet for right now so I can actually hear at least the overhead chatter as opposed to being in my own little zone of silence.
Fair enough. You definitely realize, yep, my helmet's fucking broken. And you hear Arthur like, it's coming for me! Oh, God!
And I can't still talk to anyone except maybe Arthur.
I'll say Mark and Devad arrive on the ground and run into Cargo Bay 4 at the end of their turn.
Right. Now I'll put on my helmet as he depressurizes.
Yep. Because I'm assuming at the top of the round, Devad, that's you.
We'll pop the locks.
Okay. You, Matthias, and Mark are all ready to go inside Cargo Bay 4. You press the button, and you hear the computer, Cargo Bay 4, depressurizing.
I hear that?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's loud enough that you can hear it through your helmet.
Nice.
And
Base safety equipment.
and you see venting of, oxygen going out. Okay. Matthias goes next. There's not a lot that you can do at this moment other than wait for it to finish depressurizing, which will happen at the start of the round. So you're standing there readying your pistol. Arthur, are you you're preparing yourself, readying for a charge?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for it to charge me.
Okay. Peter,
Yes.
anything you want to do?
I don't think there's anything. There's nothing I could do. There's no moving parts on the hull of the ship that I can interact with. So at this point, I think I'm mostly just surveillance. I'm going to keep it under surveillance. If I can perhaps distract the darn thing by wiggling a camera or something like that, I will.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm pretty much just watching.
You give it your best shot by rotating the ship a bit, by jiggling cameras. There's not a whole lot that you can do. You attempt to close and reopen Cargo Bay 3 a bit, just to see if that will, but it does not seem to give two shits.
Someone can detect that there's something alive. That's kind of interesting.
Mark grabs his enormous handheld machine gun, pulls the action out, loads in a huge clip, rotates the sight, looks up and down it, runs all the way to the doors, and takes a knee as if he's ready to start shooting as soon as the doors start opening.
Over the radio, I will ask for current position of target.
I give it to him.
Okay. As
that way
you
Mark has an idea, so he's not.
as you give it to him, it changes slightly. Let me do this. Ooh. Okay. Cargo Bay 3 is closer than Mark. I'm sorry, closer than Arthur. And it can definitely sense the heat signatures inside. The Wrath turns around and heads toward the cargo bay doors, the massive, steel exits, and just starts like dragging its claws at it, doing almost no damage whatsoever. But it's definitely distracted and not approaching Arthur at the moment.
Yay.
We serve a purpose, even if it's just a distraction.
Divad, at the top of the round, depressurization complete. Are you pressing the open doors?
I will look at everyone else and try a thumbs up. Anyone else caring or even looking at me?
Mark gives you a thumbs up.
The doctor? Besides?
Thumbs up.
And I will hit the magic button and have my gun out and prepare to not be shot into space.
Okay. You smash the button. A bunch of red warning lights appear at the corners of the cargo bay doors, and they start separating in all four directions. Immediately after they do, this spider creature crawls inside, barely waiting for it to be big enough for it to actually get through.
And how we light it the hell up.
And that leaves us at Matthias's turn.
I shoot it.
All right, roll to hit.
All right. So,
Firearms.
Firearms.
Plus death. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Firearms plus firearms plus the gun.
I know, Ron.
Never mind.
Wait, no, you don't have a working communicator, so you can't
Hey,
encourage.
hear me.
You're gonna try anyways, Ron. Go. Yell through this.
Out of the corner of your eye, you hear Rod.
I hate being comedy.
But Ron,
It's a fucking pistol.
It's great. Okay, its defense is 5. Ping! You shoot and it bounces off of some of its armor. And then heads out into space infinitely, forever, until it strikes something's home planet and destroys what would have been life. I'm going to repost this here, so I have to stop scrolling up to find it, the initiative order. Arthur! It went in the hole!
Can I do I have a long enough cable I can charge behind it and hit it?
Yeah, your cable goes all the way back to the cargo bay next to it.
No, my electric cable.
Your electric cable is really only about 6-7 feet long. It's not meant to go around the entire ship. It's specifically to hook up this fucking thing.
Yeah. Fine. I kill the power and secure the cable.
I was gonna say, I guess you could probably start working on the sensor array again.
That's right.
You guys have this covered, right? Do.
no one's attacking me. What the hell?
Welding. Yeah, okay. You resecure it safely to the hull. Peter.
All I can do is, like I said, all I can do is watch.
Yep, you turn on the camera for Cargo Bay 4, and you see this thing crawling rapidly along the walls of the doors that are opening.
Okay. I'll still keep an eye on the station to make certain that we don't have any more floating in.
Okay.
So hopefully, right now, I am going to give position updates, but I think everyone knows where it is right now.
Okay, Grebe, who is currently clinging to the back of your chair, goes, "Where is your escape pod? Must evacuate. Wrath on board."
Is he saying this through the radio?
No, he's saying this in the room.
It would be bad luck to leave right now.
Also, you don't have one.
We are the escape pod.
Damn your human luck. I do not want my organs to be ingested and turned into a space hull.
That would be-
Mark opens fire with his massive. He's got it on the ground. His machine gun, and his attack is a 66 with +1 always hitting. Okay. 66. I meant 62.
62.
And that's a 4 versus the defense. Okay.
Remember, defense goes down
Does it?
every time it defends.
Okay. So it should be 4d2?
Well,
I'm right, Tom?
Well, every round, they get full defense on the first thing, and then every attack after that goes down by 2.
By 2. Okay. Let me roll again. Sorry. I did not know that
Yeah.
rule because I'm basically winging all of the shit. Mark draws blood, does not kill the thing outright, but Mark hits a 4 with his +1 always, and it rolled a 2 for defense. So he does 2 points of damage to the spider, which honestly acts like it's not a big deal. Continues running toward you with, one limb completely severed.
Yeah, they kind of popped up loonies.
Very Starship Troopers doesn't give a fuck type.
It's very badass.
Okay. In this close quarters, the Wrath is definitely capable of running up at one of you and striking. So I'm going to go ahead and roll randomly. At a 1, it'll be Devad, 2 Matthias, and 3 Mark.
I am unlucky.
I guess if I just do this.
1.
I roll a 1. Okay, so 1 it is, Devad. The Wrath runs straight up to you with your non-working helmet. You scream. No one hears you.
I have a philosophical moment.
Space, no one can hear you scream.
No one can hear you scream. And it rolls a claw attack against you.
All right. I need to look at my actual skills to see how I get to.
Yes. What defense do you have?
My defense is 4.
Okay.
I'm trying to say now. Let's see. I could also, Tom. I don't know the rules well enough. I could make a dodge attempt to avoid this. No, dodge
Yes,
is
yeah.
for pain.
He said.
No. You can take a full defense action if you'd like.
I think
Basically, all you're doing is you're literally just spending all of your energy just doing that.
But that would have to be done on his turn?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to be using... Is he using his passive defense or active defense right now?
I'm really trying to know what's
Right
happening.
now, he's using his full defense.
Active defense, okay. Your dodge action you can start next turn, because this turn you spent your turn activating the controls to open the doors.
Yes.
Okay.
Not that I've got an actual useful athletics or acrobatic skill anyway, but it's one more die than I had. So roll and I'll roll. And we'll see how this goes.
But Ron, for future reference, a total defense action, whether you're blocking blows, parrying strikes, dodging range attacks, you give up your attack and you just get a +4 bonus on your defense rating until the next turn.
Yep. I was just looking at. I saw dodge first, which is why I was reading it, and then realized it was for ranged attacks.
Yep. It's on. I'm looking at page 122.
I'm looking at your pretty little handout you gave us for the other game.
Oh, there's that too. But I got the book.
Ooh,
I have a PDF of the book up too. It's just.
actual spent money on hardcover.
Ooh.
I strangely enough, I still like having books instead of PDFs. I prefer it.
I do too.
It is 9:15 and I'm getting a message from work. What are you doing, sir? Fuck! Fucking salary job.
What do they want you to do?
Actually, it looks like... So, in addition to, like, the normal work chat, we have what's called a water cooler chat, which we started back when COVID started, which is basically our channel to fuck around and say whatever's on our mind. So he sent a picture, but the picture isn't loading. And it just says, errand done. I literally don't know what he's trying to send. It's just spinning. So, who knows? But...
So roll to poke me, and then I'll roll my defense.
I rolled to poke you already. It got a 3 to poke you.
Curses.
I was waiting for you. I didn't know you were waiting for me. Yeah, I'm never...
I have 4 defense, and let's see how much style points I have to waste today. None!
None! You just managed to just luckily duck out of the way. Like, you don't know it's coming, it comes to strike you, you manage to go, ah! No one hears it.
At least I gained some dignity from that.
And it just, like, scratches the wall next to you as it, like, rears up, preparing to do more attacks later. Okay. Next is, top of the round, Devad.
Do something spectacular.
Yep.
Total defense.
Do a flip.
Do a flip.
Really.
Not jumping off the building!
Do a trick.
Deactivate your mag boots. Fly through the air with the greatest of ease. What are you doing, Devad?
I'm gonna basically pop it. I'm gonna use my Colt Peacemaker and put a hole in it.
All right, roll to shoot.
Open the...
Why are you using a cold peacemaker? It's like the year 23 something.
I have an antique.
Well, it's the Colt Peacemaker 2.0.
No, that'd be 5.0 at this point.
5.0? 7.0? The Colt Peacemaker X 2017 X
Only 3.
Millennium Edition asterisk extra triple platinum.
I would... Platinum.
Of course, now
Exactly.
now owned by Johnson & Johnson. A 3, okay?
It gets its full on this one.
It gets its full on this one because it's a new round. And it still suffers 1 point of damage as Devad point blank blasts it and shoots off one of its many claws. It goes scree, which Ron can't hear, no one can hear because it's not on the fucking radio. But it goes scree.
We should get them on the radio.
Well, that's a terrible idea.
That it basically screams in radio length. And everyone thinks they're a mute race, but they actually speak in radio waves.
Amazing. 10 out of 10 will steal this idea.
No, but I do believe in radio.
I scream in X-ray. Matthias.
I will attempt to shoot it.
Okay, roll to hit. And it loses a portion of its defense.
It does.
Don't fump.
5.
Ooh.
4.
Well, you do 2 additional points. It is now bleeding profusely, but still moving. Still angry, still clawing. Arthur, you are probably out of combat at this point. Peter, same for you. You're currently just watching. Grebe, who is currently like clinging to the back of your chair, is like, wait, it's dying. You're shooting it. We may live to see another day. Glorious.
Big grin.
Mark yells, get the fuck out of the way. And then unloads about 50 bullets.
Well, let's see if I can use the Wrath as a meat shield, because I think it's very cheap.
The Wrath only has 1 die of defense left.
And he gets the +1. So he's done 3 points of damage. So
He's definitely done at least 2 points. It does block 1, but that is enough. He just shoots it, bam, and it doesn't stop moving. It just stops attacking. It's flailing around, red and green blood, a mix of red and green blood spraying everywhere as it tries to continue toward Devad. It grasps your shoulders and then slides off, leaving a gross streak across all of your spacesuit.
Well, I
As it hits the floor. And the space doors continue opening. Beep, 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 beep. We're out of combat. Everything seems fine.
Yeah, we won.
We
I'm gonna-
pushed the body out into space.
You give it a
really-
shove.
Whichever PC is nearer me, either with the doctor or the marine,
Matthias would be closer.
I'm going to head over to them, tap my helmet, and point out. Just like, look at my eyes and look. I want them to look out.
Okay.
Okay, stop. I touch my helmet to hit. What are you trying to say?
It comes
Wait.
through.
Look, where are what's control? Where are they? Where's the rest of them? Look out! Look for more.
I ask on the radio, where are the rest of the raft?
They are still on the station.
I will touch my helmet to Matthias
Devad.
I'm Matthias.
Well, it's easily complicated.
And say that Devad, sorry, and say that they're still at the station.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Bill, did I send you a PDF that looks kind of like this?
I don't know that you did. Maybe it was a long time ago.
Okay. Basically, it's just a little one-page, here's everything you could do in combat thing kind of thing.
Want me to dump it in the chat?
Hold on. Where is it? No, I don't see it.
If it was in your Dropbox.
I scrolled all kinds of things.
I do stuff like this for con games so that
This one right here, Phil. Let me just drop it into the.
the thingy.
There we go.
Just share it in the Discord. That works great. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's what Tom shared it originally.
I would love to have that.
Yeah.
Okay, you said there it is, but I don't see
There.
There it goes.
I had to hit return after I dragged it.
Thank you. Clearly you did, because when I opened it, it gave me a version 2. So I'll cut and I'll put that in the folder where I put all my stuff for this game. Cool, thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I don't mind winging it. Winging it worked great. Honestly, I wing most of the shit I do.
That's perfectly fine.
I recently was playing my D&D 3.5 game, and they encountered a wizard who had gone insane and was manipulating time magic, who had seen every horrible thing that humanity does over its entire existence. And so I sent the entire party to Omaha Beach in the liberation of France, and turned them into privates. And I made them all choose a name on the fly. I'm like, what's your name? And the best one that somebody came up with was Richard Parts. That's right, he's Private Dick Parts. But they had a good time with that. And then, of course, the barbarian who wound up with the mortar rolled a nat 20 on shooting the pillbox full of Germans. So the Germans all ran out on fire. And then I was like, great, you finish that. You go back through the portal into, D&D world. I have to do the next 3 events next time I play with them. But that was all just fucking whatever. Just roll some dice.
Basically, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
I always love Tom's reskinning of you drove Bill Scher nuts with your what the hell is that monster? It's a reskinned crocodile, but he doesn't know what the hell it is.
Yep. You're,
Yeah, but Bill Scher, in the outside chance that he's watching this YouTube channel, yes, I did do some things that were specifically to counteract Bill Scher.
And me, I was
any player who has memorized every fucking special ability, I in the same game, in the previous combat, they walked into a hallway and 3 random fucking monsters from Monster Manual 3 appeared, and one of the people at the table had minis for 2 of the 3 monsters. And I'm like, how? How do you have minis for these creatures? They're from Monster Manual 3. It's fucking the dumbest errata possible. No, he's like, oh, I've got a bone scythe, and I've got a lifelink neo OTU. Like, fuck! The only one he didn't have was a crystal troll. So he used a frost troll.
Close enough.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to be surprising you with any fucking random monsters, so yeah, if I really want to surprise them, I'll throw them into the beaches of Normandy. Yeah, you have to shoot a Nazi. I don't fucking know what they're immune to.
Nothing.
Well, like I did with Bill, it's like, I mean, you can attack them with regular orcs, but just you make them like, 5 foot tall and blue.
Yep.
And they're like, what do you mean? They're orcs. You have no idea what these things are. Doesn't matter.
They're ploops. Fight the ploops. Go. Attack the ploops. Evil ploops. All right, let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. After another hour of, pushing this body off into space where it floats grossly into space, because, Matthias, you already have one to experiment on. You don't need a second one. You finish working on the sensor array. You do one of those things where you slam it down, you close your toolbox, and you go, okay, it should work now. And sure enough, your sensor array is fully functional again, Peter.
Yay!
You scan the system, and there's nothing frightening, abnormal, terrifying, or immediately urgent. The same number of planets, one space station, no other spaceships other than your own, same number of moons, asteroids, etc. You do a deeper scan of the space station and notice that there are 2 space vessels inside one of the hangars.
The fighters we saw last time briefly.
Grebe will correlate your findings from your scanner with his own information and inform you that there are 2 different vessels in there. One of them is a automated refining vessel designed to launch to the planet, drop off a bunch of mining drones, have them collect the Illyrium, and then we'll process it on the vessel and then launch back to space to drop off at the space station. This way, they don't have to do the refining in space, they do it all automated, and it's much less dangerous, produces a whole bunch of toxic gases that they don't want to actually have to breathe in or dispose of. It's all on the planet. The second one is an escape pod that holds roughly 6 individuals of Feldar size that looks like it was going to launch but failed to do so.
Okay.
It's...
How long ago did this place fall?
Grebe isn't sure. He, rubs his helmet. And then he, checks, his little data pad. He gives you a number that then correlates to roughly, 30 Earth years.
Wow.
So 3 decades.
So anything in that escape pod's probably long dead.
Yeah, definitely. The escape pod is very advanced compared to what you would consider an escape pod to be. It can launch, it can change direction, and it can land on a planet and then also relaunch off that planet. But it essentially looks a little bit like the lunar lander, the first one. It's got, a large central orb, and then 4 prongs that land and stick to things. But it has significant power supplies to then launch itself off the planet if needed.
Is it small enough to fit into one of our cargo bays?
Yes. Both of them are.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stealing both.
The refining vessel is maybe twice as large and kind of resembles a large drill. If you could imagine a drilling portion and then a big old tank. It's just made to launch, land in rock, secure itself, and then drop off a bunch of drones, which then bring back ore, and it refines it until it's full. The drones attach themselves to the side, and then it rockets back off. He also confirms that the Arboretum... Oh, you actually said you wanted a list of these, so I will go ahead and paste these into the chat for you, Ron.
Thank you. Just for where we can go and where we can't go on the station.
Yes, the Arboretum, flight control, cafeteria, crew quarters, and cargo/hangars are all completely intact and potentially repairable with minimum effort once they get power working. However, power is going to require refined lyrium. Your scanners also indicate that the Arboretum is filled with currently flash frozen fruit trees.
Oh, worth running away with.
So that Grebe, who's excited about this, is like, hey, I can, like, once we get it working, the life support systems, maybe a day or two later, fresh fruit, which I like to eat and also, like to share with everyone.
Fruit.
The fruit. Okay.
Always a good thing.
Always good.
First, we have to kill the remaining two wrath on the station.
Three.
Three.
Do our sensors actually fully tell us how many wrath there are?
Yes. Your sensors do pick up 3 life forms on the station. And they have once again separated.
I guess our best bet would be just to, you're right, to lure them all to the hole and and go at them with the Gatling gun.
Okay.
Would they? I'll be asking Grebe. The areas like the Arboretum, they're still pressurized. They still have atmosphere. So clearly, the Wraith have never entered into those locations. If they ever did, they would have been depressurized.
Actually, they are currently depressurized with no atmosphere. However, they're mostly intact.
Okay.
As opposed to several parts of the station which have been destroyed by either wrath assaults or explosions within the station.
Oh, okay.
These are the ones that, if we can get power working, we can repressurize them. We can restart life support, at least Feldar life support, maybe not human life support.
Gotcha. Okay.
We will have to seal off other parts of the station in order to do it.
Yeah, everything with big holes.
Yeah.
Wow. And the three of them that came outside, they went right back in. I didn't ask at the time, but I'll ask now. Maybe an empathy check. Were they retreating?
It's hard to say. You don't think that the Wrath experience fear.
Yeah.
If anything, perhaps they gave up.
Okay.
That would be probably the best scenario, is that they decided it wasn't worth it and went back to what they were doing. Do you have empathy as a skill? Do you want to roll it to see if you can maybe discern more?
Empathy is an actual skill.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like sense motive from the old, 3-5 days.
Make an empathy roll.
I'll give it a shot.
I think you're good at that. You're not.
Yeah, your best guess is that they decided it wasn't possible to jump to the ship, so they left.
All right, fair enough. I mean, if we can lure them to the opening and blast them with the guns, that would be great. Otherwise, I think we're going to have to go aboard and guns a-blazing. And with that, I'll look to Mark and I'll be like, you wouldn't have to have any more of those big guns, would you?
I do not have any big guns. However, I believe your ship has a few military level rifles.
Because I've all I got is this little pistol.
Yeah, that's all I need to grab was my pistol. I don't remember there being. Oh, I will check the inventory. Do we actually have rifles on board this time?
Let me check. I'm sure that if I gave you guns other than just your pistols,
I don't think so.
that I wrote it down.
Well, then it must be true.
I would have to actually go back and watch the videos, I think. Oh, wait. I think the early ones we didn't record, so probably not.
Well, would you put it this way? Would you wanted to have done that?
We're just on a cargo
Yes.
ship. I don't think so.
I would have included, because you are a cargo vessel, not much. Pistols are kind of allowed by everybody. Everyone's allowed to have a pistol. That's like
Yeah.
basic
I
gun
always
rights for your society.
Bought one out of the vending machine.
But larger guns, like rifles, are restricted to military use. But I have a feeling...
I forget if we were sent with any extra equipment.
No, I guess you probably don't have any rifles, so you only have pistols, unless your character specifically had something other than a pistol.
No, I definitely have a slightly better than normal pistol. I have one die better than normal pistol.
I do.
Yeah, we equipped ourselves when we were still floating around on the old vessel.
Yep.
We didn't need to shoot an awful lot of big things.
The only thing I have mentioned is it says conventional firearms are commonplace, but plasma guns are military grade and not usually found in the hands of civilians.
Okay.
And plasma gun is what Mark has.
Okay, but I mean, looking at the book again, the book, an automatic rifle has a minimum strength of 3 for anyone who wants to use one, and it is 3 dice of damage. So, my pistol only does 2 dice of damage, so it's just 1 step higher, but you get automatic fire with it.
I tell you what, because the company knew they were sending you into a potentially risky situation, they would include 2 additional rifles. Or Devad would have requested 2 additional rifles, which are currently in storage. If you have the skill to use them, they will certainly be better than a pistol. But
I just have a generic firearm skill.
right,
That's all
Yeah,
I have
me
is a
too.
generic firearm.
yeah,
I have
Yeah,
gun.
my firearm's a 5.
okay.
Yeah, my firearms is a 3 plus whatever I'm using.
Yeah.
So I mean, a 5 is probably good enough to use the rifle.
Yeah, and most weapons there's a minimum strength for wielding it. For like most things, it's a 2. If you want to use a 10 gauge shotgun, you need a 3. A buffalo rifle's a 3.
I'm not using an automatic weapon because I don't have the strength for it.
An SMG, if all you're looking at is like an SMG, you need a strength of 2. But no, I'll be happy to take a rifle. Are we talking about automatic fire, or is it like a hunting rifle? What's the deal?
It is a semi-automatic fire. It would probably be listed as automatic fire under the book.
Okay. All right. So I only have a strength of 2, so I can't wield that sucker.
Okay. It's a good thing. It's a good thing you brought along a Marine.
Yes.
Can anyone wield this? Herr Doctor, Herr Engineer?
No, I've only a strength of 2.
I got a strength of 3.
So
Congratulations, you got a machine gun.
Yeah, but I only have a gunnery of 4.
Which
you
is
need firearms.
Or firearm of 4, I mean.
I've only got a firearms of 3.
Look under your
Yeah,
chair.
we're-
Everybody gets a machine gun.
What's
Yeah,
the penalty for
we're-
firing one with inadequate strength?
I think
Sure.
simply you can't do it, right, Tom?
Yeah, if you don't have the minimum strength, you can fire it, but you take a -2 penalty on the attack roll for every dice that you are, for every point of strength you're less, which pretty much negates having the big spiffy gun.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so we can have the best thing that strength 2 could basically fire would be 3 dice for like a Mauser rifle, or with the modern equivalent of one, or a Winchester, would be a 3 dice rifle. But anything that's got automatic fire and recoil and such, yeah, strength of 2 is probably, we're not the greatest for doing it.
So basically, Arthur is capable of using one, and it might actually work better, excuse me, than his pistol. But everybody else lacks the strength to hold it properly.
True. That's why we have a Marine.
I mean, with a firearms of 4 and the rifle, which I believe you said is 3 dice, that gives you a 7, right?
Yep.
That's how it works. So you could roll with 7 if you use one of the rifles.
I'm now lugging around a rifle.
Yep.
I feel much better.
After being stuck outside with nothing but basically a very high voltage cable to defend myself, I think I'm going to sling that asshole over my shoulder from now on. I feel much better already. And that is a basic plasma rifle, which shoots 3 shots a round, but they all filter into that one die roll.
You're not chasing ammo.
You pull the trigger and it goes pew 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 pew. Okay. Let's go ahead and it's 9:45. Does anyone have anything they would like to accomplish before we end tonight's session?
I would like to, now that we have the sensors and such, I'd like to get floor plans, or as much of a detailed description of the station. If we are going aboard, I want to gain entrance as far away from the Wrath as possible, so that we don't actually have to fight them at the door.
Okay.
I have to go. He goes first, and I'll go give mine.
I will doodle something for you and upload it into the channel.
Okay.
Are you kidding? You can just just Google generic space station floor plans and you'll get a hit. Where do you think I get most of my maps?
I believe that's how I came up with the Nero and then added a couple levels. It was pretty basic.
God, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, no.
God bless people on Pinterest.
Easy peasy. What I should do is I should download that Illwinter's floor plan generator thing and make some cool shit. But I'm lazy, and I don't want to do it. So
Okay. Now my two questions were going to be: the Wrath now know we're here.
they have a very good idea. Yeah.
All right. So that means we can try to use the robots as a distraction. Mining drones on one side while we sneak in on the other side. We have to use it to draw the Wrath away from us so we can get on easier. And since I think the comms are restored, I actually need to make a report home.
Ah, yes. The only issue you have with reporting home is this. Humanity's communications relays are set up for Sol, Wolf, and a few other very close star systems. Beyond that, they break down rapidly. And
I can't spit. No calling home. Got it.
You can. It just takes days instead of 30 minutes.
Right. Well, then I'll be filing a report.
Gotcha.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, so basically the farther away you get, the communications break down, and of course, now that you're traveling through hyperspace, you are much, much farther away than humanity has ever explored space.
We should have brought a communications relay with us.
Yeah, it would have been tough to do, given everything else that you had to bring. Your one goal is to get some Illyrium and then get back so you can get the Feldar communication stuff working, and hopefully let all the Feldar know that there's a safe place for them.
A safer
place. There's no inhabitable
There's
world.
all these crazy people with guns over here.
Yeah.
If we hide behind them,
We found another race of crazy warmongers, and we're going to pit them against each other. Yay! Great success. This can't possibly go wrong.
Oh, they're screwed.
We found this race of hyper-violent capitalists.
I'll be right back.
Oh no. Anything else you guys want to do or know or whatever?
No, that pretty much covers it.
In an hour.
yeah, I've got nothing else.
Okay. Fortunately, I wrote lots of content for tonight, and we only got through the first 1/3 of it.
Ooh,
So
you can be lazy for a while.
you know how it is, like when you're used to writing 4 hours worth of content, and then your game is only a 2 hour long game. So you kind of wrote too much, but that's okay. That's good, because it means all I need to do now is Google derelict space station blueprints and then change them to what I want and then send them to Tom.
Traveler is great for that if you actually want
Well,
to.
Just to let you know, I will not be able to play in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I will be at Origins.
Okay.
So have fun storming the castle without me.
Well, I would say, oh shit. I was going to say, why don't we schedule for 2 weeks after that, but I won't be available 2 weeks after that.
What about the 15th? Between those two dates,
That might
or
work
you
totally fine.
are you occupied on every other Wednesday?
So, no, it's not the Wednesday that's the problem. It's that I have a D&D game every 2 weeks on the weekend, and my wife doesn't like me doing this and the D&D game on the same week. For whatever reason, because I'm usually streaming anyway. She says she knows it doesn't make any fucking sense. She just doesn't doesn't care. So I try to space it out like that. However, I also won't be doing D&D on the 18th because I will be on a cruise. That is the reason I can't do this game the Wednesday after. So it'll be fine to do it on the 15th, if that's okay with you guys.
15th.
15th.
I'll be on vacation.
Okay.
I can probably do the 15th.
Let's set it up for the 15th. And make sure that Jim finds that out, Ron.
Jim bellowed from the background that he could hear us.
Okay, perfect.
Now the question: would the follow? Are we then going? So then we're skipping.
We're skipping the 1st and the 8th and meeting on the 15th.
Right, and then we'll figure out when we're meeting again on the 15th. Then.
Correct.
We will probably meet again on the 6th.
Yep, that would be my guess.
We will see. Ooh.
Yeah, we will have
Because my wife will be in Florida the week after. Who knows? If my wife is out of town, it's basically Bachelor Week, which instead of like strippers and beer, involves video games and beer. So
What part of time with the children?
they will be gone as well. That's the thing. It's the wife and the kids. After the cruise, they're staying in Florida and visiting her mother, which becomes my vacation. And I get to do whatever I want for a week. Which probably means I will go over to my brother-in-law's house and play the D&D game on the weekend, and also do this. So we'll see. We'll figure it out after the 15th.
Yeah, that'll show her.
That'll show her. Yeah, she greatly appreciates when I get peace and quiet to myself, because then I become less bitchy. I don't complain about my terrible neighbors who report my dog for being too skinny.
You said it wasn't a neighbor; it was a random driver.
A random driver. So, okay, real quickly, the story, since we have some time. So I called the animal control repeatedly until I finally got somebody. I explained to that person what I thought happened. They said it happens all the time. He has an old pug as well. The pug is skinny because the pug has weight problems. He takes great care of the pug. And people constantly ask him, why do you do your dog so wrong? Why are you so horrible to animals? And he's like, I'm not. I have a skinny pug. Like, it's not fucking... It's treated better than your goddamn kids. So that's, the sign I'm going to put on the end of my fucking driveway. So
Yeah.
I make an appointment to have an animal control officer come out and check on my animals. She shows up. I'm like, here is the dog. You can see that she is, in fact, skinny, but I will show you how well I take care of my animals. Here is the fat one. She is dumb and fat. And then here's the other dog, which is how I know that it's just some asshole who drove through the neighborhood and reported me, because this dog is loud and is always outside. And she's like, that's fine. I understand. Your dog is skinny. Maybe you should consider switching food. How many cups a day does your dog eat? I said, I don't know. Because I feed the dog, and when the bowl is empty, I fill it again. The dog has a never-ending buffet of food. And I'm like, sometimes the dog gets diarrhea. So we don't feed her table scraps because we think it's milk, but we don't know. And I don't want to constantly scrape shit off my floor and walls. So she gets dog food. And she's like, well, what kind of dog food? I'm like, science diet. And she's like, okay, that's a normal dog food. Like, okay. I'm like, I give her the old dog food because she is old. She has health problems. She's on these medications. I give her a list of the medications. And she's, looking around. I'm like, I said, I've got chickens. Do you think maybe if the dog was starving, it would eat one of my chickens? Like, there's a food walking around in front of it. And she's like, probably. Like, if it was that hungry, yeah, it would probably try to eat a chicken. Speaking of which, I saw my little dog eating a fucking egg today. I don't know how it got the egg. The egg must have been laid in the grass, because that little asshole was just chewing the shit out of it, and then brought me the shell as if to show me what a horrible deed it had done. Those are my eggs. Fucker. So she's like, I need their rabies information. I'm like, I don't have it, but I'll give you my, my veterinarian's number, and you can call them. And she's like, okay, if I can't get them, I'll call you in 2 weeks. That was it. And basically they said, we have to do all this, and then next time there's a report, we'll just say we looked into it and they're fine. So fuck off.
The dog is old.
Yeah. She's old. She probably has something wrong with her because she's got lumps on her body. But we took her to the vet, and the vet said, if the lumps don't bother her, then don't worry about it. Like, unless she screams and yelps and runs away when you touch them, then they're not a big deal. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, that's fine. It's not even my dog. It's somebody else's dog that we're watching when they got transferred to England. And they're back now. They can't pick the dog up till August. And then that dog is out of my life. I will stop calling her house pooper because she shits on my floor constantly. And then I can live life without that fucking dog. And I'll be happier. The dog will be probably the same because I treat that dog very well. They're spoiled as shit. We get bark box, for God's sakes. Like, what more do you want? And my chickens are spoiled as shit too. And my bunnies are spoiled as shit.
Yes.
And my kids are, well, they're fucking assholes.
Well,
they're not spoiled because they're constantly getting in trouble, the little shits. So, yeah, there you go. That's what
You have
happened.
at least one, as one of them the good kid?
They all have problems. The youngest is probably the good kid. But again, we are well aware that we're suffering from, like, child fatigue, where the first child was like, you must do all of the right things correctly, in this order, eat every one of your peas, wash your hands, get perfect grades. And the second child, we're like, look, just don't end up as shitty as that one, and you'll be fine, but please get good grades. And the third one, we're like, whatever, would you like candy? Here's some candy. Just fucking shut up. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
as the youngest child in my family, I have to tell you that your son knows how to play the game. Lucas knows how to play the damn game really well.
I am fine with that. If my oldest child knew how to play the game, he would win, and I would be okay. All you have to do is do what I say. I'm not even asking for the world. Just don't scream in the morning. Don't pick on your brothers. Don't get suspended from school. Like, I'll throw a parade in your honor. I will bring video games and pussy to your doorstep. I don't care. Whatever you want. Just fucking don't get in trouble. Fuck.
No. Lucas knows exactly. It's like if all he has to do, because he's the smallest of the bunch, he's like, all he has to do is go crying to one of you two, and it's just like, wait a minute, you're bigger than those two.
Yeah.
I can do math.
Yeah. It's like, he hit me. Well, did you hit him? Yes, but he hit me first. You're fucking 12. Don't hit. He's 7. He's a fucking idiot. Like, he hit you, you hit him back? What's wrong with you? Just walk away. He's got no strength. By the way, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I am selling a book. It's called Better Living by Not Having Children. And it's just got one page. It says, don't have kids.
Invest in a Nerf bat, but they'll find a way to hurt each other.
Oh, no, he loves Nerf. And then, of course, immediately someone shoots somebody else, and then it's he shot me, wah. And then but we were having a Nerf battle and just fucking arguments, and then I just lock myself in here and drink as heavily as I possibly can. I love kids.
Someone else's, far away.
Yeah, not mine. No, I do. I love my kids.
Medium,
the
I,
most.
I love
Hey,
kids. Medium rare.
Hey, I was only there for one evening, and I didn't see them doing anything dramatically unchildlike.
I was gonna say Tom was here for exactly like 12 hours and had to get the fuck away as quick as possible because he could not handle it anymore.
Oh no! Good Lord! I mean, shit. I had to get back. I had to get back here, and that drive was a monster. So I'm like, yikes!
12 plus hours of the worst, most crowded parts of fucking America. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I mean, Los Angeles.
So Phil and I grabbed breakfast at a Waffle House. I think I left his town at about 8:30. I rolled into Rochester around 8:30 p.m. And first thing I did is I sent him a text going, "I am not doing that shit again." It's like, no, thank you.
I have
12-hour drive.
I have made that trip many times, like
I mean,
10
12 hours.
times.
How bad were you going? 12 hours gets me to Atlanta.
Well, that's you, Ron. I take stops. Good on you, but I like to take stops.
You know,
but-
Ron has not made those long trips in many a year now. I'm willing to bet he will.
Ron, are you taking 95 to get to Atlanta?
I don't remember anymore. It's
Yeah.
Let me ask, are you going along the coast? Do you go by south of the border, the giant tourist trap / fireworks sales when you hit South Carolina?
There's a lot of fireworks sales just over
Yeah,
the
but this
border.
one is south of the border. It is...
Trust me, I've done
South
this trip
Florida.
many times. Sean's parents live in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay.
We drive right by you.
Yep.
We get on 95 around Washington, D.C., and get off in Yemassee, South Carolina.
And your fucking GPS is like, for the next 360 miles, go straight.
Basically.
No, thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, no, it tries to dodge around Richmond.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does, and it's the same time as just going right through Richmond.
Well, it depends on what time of day you're going through Richmond.
Yeah.
I was totally inexperienced for the drive, but I was like, if I had thought about it, I would have been like, let's avoid DC because DC sucks.
Yeah.
D.C.
Oh,
does.
yes.
It sucks for 50 miles in either direction, depending on the
I
day.
have felt like blows. It's just-
Actually, it doesn't matter what time of night. I've hit D.C. at like 9 o'clock at night, and just I've watched people get into pile-ups on those highways, just
Yeah.
not doing anything. They just suddenly some guy goes left in the middle of the highway.
Yeah. I have driven through DC on a Sunday, and my GPS is like, go this way, go that way, and it'll drive me right past the fucking Pentagon, and like no one's on the road on a Sunday. But any other day at any time, it's just like for the next 50 miles, wall to wall traffic, and sometimes it's stop and go, and it's just ugh. All right, I am actually going to try to go to the office tomorrow for the first time since COVID.
There you go.
Other than the day I went to just clear out my desk. So I have to go to bed because I got to get up early and leave at like 6 in the morning. So
All right.
thank you guys. I will see you on the 15th.
Have a
See
nice
y'all
night.
later.
Good night.
Take care.
All right. And for all of you guys, thank you so much for watching. I actually don't have like anything. I can't like put my picture up because the webcam is being used by Discord. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I see that Connor said it was very nice as a podcast in the background. I appreciate that, man. And Slippy was talking about the dogs and the medication they do. DC nuts. Wow. Yeah, there we go. Nailed it. I wish I could play a little bonus video games for you guys, but like I said, I am trying to go to work. There will not be a stream this weekend either, as I am going on a Memorial Day trip. But Monday, I should be back Monday, and we'll probably do RimWorld, I think, or Minecraft, modded Minecraft or RimWorld. Maybe I'll put it to a vote. But obviously we'll do one of those, and unless like Haley messages me and is like, "Yo, let's play some Fortnite," and then I'm gonna play some fucking Fortnite. I have to basically resign myself to the fact that for the entire summer, I'm going to hate Fortnite because all the kids are home from school and they just kick the dad's ass. You can tell half the people playing are dads trying to get quests done and unlock shit, and the other half are children who know that dads are trying to get shit done and will just fucking camp the important sites and beat the shit out of you. So, yay! I fucking hate shooters. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I will see you next time. Have a good night, and yeah, see you around, guys. Let's play that outro music.